Hello. Okay. Thank you so much. Apologies, I can't speak Thai, so I will be presenting in English. I hope that's okay. So thank you for being here. I know it's kind of hot, the weather. So this is very interesting talk, and there's not be a lot of technical things, so don't worry, you won't fall asleep. And it will be about food, so I'm very excited for dinner as well. Okay, so my talk title is Imagining the Cafe using the Imagen technology. So this is the next kind of way we can design, create digital assets for our, anything we want to do, marketing, advertisements, creating like creative work and things like that, okay? So, let's see, not working. Okay, so I'm Kyaw. I'm a developer relation engineer at Google. I handle machine learning and AI on the cloud. So my talk is not so much technical, it's more like a storytelling, right? So imagine you won a lottery, right? You don't have to go to work anymore, and you decided to start a cafe, right? So who here want to start a cafe if you have enough money? Anyone? Okay, a lot of people. Me too, I want to start a cafe. I just want to wake up, drink coffee, read newspaper, play pianos, talk to the girls, right? Okay, yeah, so that's what I want to do. And, right, but when I try to like explore, right, like, let's say I don't have the money yet, but if I have the money, how can I do it, right? So I try to explore. And there's a few things that you need to do actually, right? Not just you have the money, tomorrow you have the coffee shop, right? Like you still need to do a lot more. First thing, research. Where do you want to open? Is it here in Siam, Paragon? Is it somewhere in the neighborhood places, or is it somewhere like another city altogether? Right? You need to research those areas that you want to. Of course, depends on the location. Your investment has to come in as well, right? The more popular the location, the more money you need to make it happen. Okay? And you also need to start thinking about what kind of demographics? Are they more young people or more old people? You need to know, are they like busy people, working, so on, right? You need to know your audience before you open something. And another thing is also you have to design a menu that is eye-catching, right? If your menu is just plain text, people just read it and like they don't want to buy anything from you, right? And also you have to set the price, right? If the price is too low, you don't make any money, eventually you have to close down your workshop. If your price is set too high, no one comes to your cafe, right? So things like that, you have to start thinking. And of course, you have to hire staff, you have to, waiters and so on, right? But a few things we can solve using AI, right? Of course, there are other things you can solve as well, but today's workshop or the talks, you can set this to automated, right? Like you can design the venue, describe the venue, like basically how to decorate it, the aesthetic and things like that, and also design an eye-catching menu. Right, who here is a designer? Anyone? No designer? Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, a few, okay. You are like this one, okay? Who here is like an interior designer? Like you design how to build houses, you design how the coffee shop looks like. No, right? Who here is an engineer? Like coding, software engineer? Right, okay, this is our time to shine. Yeah, I will show you what it means, okay? So the first thing, right, we just have Imagen 2.0. That means it's the latest and greatest technologies that Google released for image generation, right? Gemini can generate image at the moment. So this is where you can use to generate the images. And it's not just generating the image, you can edit it. You can also ask questions and things like that to the image. So it's not just one-way street. You can communicate with those images as well. Right, I'm going to use Imagen 2.0 to create some of the images, right? So to explain, Imagen is a model that is released by Google Brain, DeepMind. They are merged now. And Vertex AI is the end-to-end platform, right? You probably heard a lot of Vertex AI today from the previous talk. You can do a lot of AI stuff in the platform itself. It's just one of the models that is hosted on like Vertex AI, and then you can do high-quality image assets and so on, right? So I will show you some of the example in a while. Okay, these are like pretty much all the AI models that we have on Google right now with Vertex AI, right? You have like foundation model, task-specific models, domain-specific models, and so on, right? And of course, you have like open source, Llama 2s, and other things as well, right? So these are some of the things. I didn't put Gemini inside because I was preparing the slide before it was announced. So the slide is like that, okay? And yeah, so let's talk a bit more about Imagen on Vertex AI. Right? Imagen on Vertex AI is image generation, text-to-image model, right? So you type something, it gives you back the image based on the description that you put in, okay? So I'm just going to put in like your landscape with something, attributes, is it like near, far, and so on. It generates amazing images like this, right? So the next thing. So like I told you, it's just not just about generating images. You can also edit the images, upscale the images. You can also do things like asking questions on the images and so on as well. Those are the core features that Vertex AI Imagen provide, but we will just be using the image generation part to generate our cafe menu, okay? So this is how it works. You put in the prompt, and then the model understands the prompt, like try to find the keywords, the object, the entities, the attributes, and try to create something that matches your description, right, on the image side of things, okay? So if you put in the text, it gives you the image. Very simple, right? So this is how it actually works. So you have like the input where you type in the text, and then the model try to transcode it, right? Try to decode it, and then like you have the vector space, and then you vector space, then you actually use it to diffusion models to actually generate the image, you upscale it. This is where you get the final image. Right, so when you are trying to generate the initial image, they are kind of small. Then you use super resolution model to actually enhance it. Right, this is like in a nutshell how it works, like end to end. Slightly different from how the language model works, basically. Okay, so the first thing you need to think about is the decoration of your cafe, right? So if you are going to hire interior designer or some other people who can help you design, anyone know what's the market rate for designing a cafe overall? Anyone done it before? It's not cheap, actually. It can be like $10,000 US dollar or something. It depends on how high end you want to go. Right, but I can do it with a few prompts, okay? This is what I did, right? I just want to create like a Thai theme cafe, and I just have to put in this description of how do I do it, right? Like so, professional photo of a cafe with the warm ambience and so on. If I put in this, and I just get this kind of images, right? Now I can then use this to go and tell the people who can help you design and create the cafe. They can just take a reference from this aesthetic and then try to build it for you. Right? So you don't really need to engage a designer. Of course, if you want to very customize in a way, you can also do that, right? So next one, we need to create a menu, right? So when you create a menu, it has to be appealing, it has to be realistic, right? So has anyone ever generated a menu before? A few, right? So it takes a lot of effort. You have to cook the thing, put on the plate very nicely, good light, and then professional camera with a good angle to take it, right? And if you hire a photographer, it costs like, I don't know what's the rate, like about quite a lot, like 2,000 maybe, okay? So one menu item that I came up with is this. It's a medium rare steak on a plate with broccoli, mashed potato, and a gravy. It's like a traditional English, lunch, dinner thing, okay? And then this is what I came out with. So this is who think this is my last dinner last night? Oh no, it's actually generated by the Imagen. I didn't have steak last night, but yeah, it was how it was generated. Like you can see the medium rareness, like is quite. I think here, yeah. It's quite realistic in a way, right? So you don't have to cook the steak and cut it, put into the plate, and take photo. You can just do it with the tools right here. with just like within 2 minutes, you have the images already, okay? The next thing, let's see. All right, so this is more like I want to describe a little bit more. Just now it was like 2 lines, right? You see in the description, you get bigger. That means you can actually describe in very details to be able to generate very detailed image also. Right, so this is what the result looks like. It's a cheese sandwich. I put things like melting cheese and a side of butters and things like that, but this is how it looks. If you ask me to cook this, I will feel like 10 times out of, I don't know, 20 effort, right? Like 50% chance. So you can kind of see how it's very simple now to like create this kind of digital assets. And the next thing, right? You can really describe it really, really well. Like very minor details about how you want to spread the parsley or like the lemons and things like that. It will generate like this, very detailed omelette. Okay? So it really depends on how creative you are and how detail-oriented you are in creating the prompts so that the model can generate in very much details based on your prompt. But good thing is, you don't have to always write a very long paragraph to generate it. I will show you some example in a while, okay? So I was trying to create some of the local food, like, I mean, English foods, you know, is a lot of pictures everywhere. How about local food? Like, let's try this. Try to create the pineapple fried rice. Because I just had it for lunch, I'm like, hey, let's try this. And then this is what I came up with. It's very close to what I have. And yeah, if I took the image, I should have put down the image that I just took, so you can kind of compare the two, right? And the next thing, I tried to stretch myself with pad thai, and this is how it looked like it, right? It looked like I just had it and just take a photo and put it in the, yeah. It looks super real with the shrimps and everything. Okay, then the next one, this is khao sui, right? I can just write in like this, and then it gives me the bowl of khao sui in this. It's fantastic, right? I can really start opening a restaurant here already. I don't have to even cook the food, and I can get the menu items right here, right? So when you want to decorate the images, you also want to create like some, you know, aesthetic with the portrait, right? You can actually do that, right? So this is a studio portrait of an old man, you know, because you want to attract the people to come and eat your food, things like that, right? This is the results. You can frame it, hang it at the wall. No one knows it's generated. You will probably think someone came into your restaurant, you took it at a very good light and very good photo, right? So you don't have to hire a person to actually act for you anymore. You can actually take it and then, this is it. Within 2 minutes, you get it. Okay? So everything you need to open a cafe, in terms of the digital assets and the graphics, you get it settled, right? Yeah, so let's see. Right, so I actually have some credits for you to try if you want to. So you can go to this website and like log in with your Gmail. Then you should get like $5 credits that you can play around with. Right, I'm gonna give you like a few seconds for you to just scan this and then like log in and try to get the $5 one. Okay, let's see. Anyone got it? Still doing? I will just go away here so that you can do it. So it's DevFest BKK, right? So then you will reach to a landing page where you can click to get $5 actually. Right, so what the credit is going to give you is enable the free tier access for you, which means you don't have to put down your credit card number to actually start using Google Cloud, right? As long as you stay within the free tier, your $5 is not going to get consumed. And then even if you consume the $5, you're not going to get charged for, you know, let's say spinning up a VM that costs you like $100 a day or something like that. It will only use the $5 credits I just give you, and then it will stop. Okay, so this is a good thing. Don't have to worry about, you know, overcharging your credit cards and so on. This is one way to kind of prevent you from overusing things. And so if you want to go through the code notebook that I have, you can scan this QR code, and it will bring you to a copy of my notebook. And I will also go through the notebook with you to sign up, potentialize the way you want to generate the images, right? So generating image is fun when you try to do the prompt and they give you the image, but it's still very manual, right? Because we are software people, we are engineers, we want to automate things. That's why we are here, try to learn how to make it more efficient, and how to use with things like Gemini together with Imagen to create a pipeline so that you can actually generate a lot of things on the fly, okay? All got it? Anyone still scanning this QR code? Everyone okay? Okay, so let me show you, right? So this, is it big enough? So I'm gonna go here. So first, of course, I install the Google Cloud Platform package, and then I restart my timeline, and I authenticate using my notebook environment. So when you use the Google Cloud credit that I give you, you need to create a project and then use the project information inside this notebook so that the notebook knows which project you're referring to, and then you should be able to use it by yourself as well. So make a copy of this notebook, and then you can actually edit some of the code, which is this part, right? Replace with your own project ID. After you replace your own project ID, you should be able to use this notebook, right? So here, I want to do ideation steps, right? So at first, I do not know what kind of menu I should have on my restaurants or cafe. I don't even know how to name my cafe, right? So you can ask around, you might have a name in your mind already, but what I like to do is I actually ask the generative AI to give me some of the names. So name 10 trendy and modern restaurant name, right? So it can actually give you some of the names I have, right? Which is Urban Fork, Modern Table, the Culinary Collection, the Favor Lab, and so on, right? You can pick any of the names. If you don't like it, regenerate it. It will give you some other generation. Like Sam said, being able to make stuff up, it helps in these kind of cases where you need a creative mind to help you generate some of the content. Okay? So the next steps is I want it to provide a menu with a description of breakfast, lunch, dinner, also dessert and drink options, right? And format them into JSON so that when I get back the JSON, it will be nicely put into a dictionary. And then I wanted to have a JSON decoder removed, right? So this is what the test response looks like. I will have the menu, breakfast, and the name of the menu item, and then the description, right? So description kind of says the fluffy scrambled eggs with your choice of breakfast, potatoes, and toast. Right, so it actually gives you a starting point to create your own image prompt, right? So we're going to use this description. Scroll it down. So I'm going to just scroll it down a little bit. Right, so I have all the description about the dessert and then drinks and so on. Then now is the time to start visualizing what you just ideated, right? So I have the auxiliary functions here to actually call the backend from the Imagen. Right, then I'm going to do this. So this is the text on how, whether the Imagen that I want to do is working. So I wanted to print out the dog in a spacesuit in the middle of Nebula, and this is how the dog looks like. It's quite cute, right? So this is how the dog looks like in a spacesuit. And now I know my image generation part is working. So all I need to do is actually to take a piece of JSON, right, like this, right, like scrambled egg, oatmeal, yogurt, and so on. I use the description and then ask the model again, right? So we ask the model to ideate. We ask the model to actually create an image prompt for us. So I'm not writing prompt myself manually. I'm asking the generative AI model to write the prompt for me. So here, I'm going to say, rewrite this item into an image prompt, and then I put in the item at one of the menu, okay? And then it will actually create this very nice detailed prompt for me, right? You can see from here, coming from this fluffy scrambled egg thing, to all the way here of a plate of fluffy scrambled egg, served with a breakfast potato toast. They are golden brown, cooked to perfections with creamy texture and so on. Right, so you just keep using Gen AI to expand and get the very detailed description of an image that you want to generate. Now, of course, if you want to modify, you can still modify it, but these are actually quite good enough to start just putting into the image and just get some of the image back. Right, so I'm actually gonna do this. So this is the prompt that we just created, right? And then this is the result. It's quite big, so I'm gonna zoom out. So this is the result. Can you see? It's still very small. So, yes. So this is my scrambled egg menu, right? If I have to cook this, it's gonna take me about 30 minutes, more or less, but I can generate this in like within 5 minutes. And I can reuse this as many times I want because I just created a pipeline using code. Okay? So you can then start replacing the index. So I'm just putting in index, right? Let me just do this. Zoom in a bit. You see, I'm actually indexing the response. So if I change the index 0 to 1, it will change to different menu. Then I can just keep regenerating it, right? So this is how you generate it from a Python standpoint. Just hit the APIs and then you get what you want. Okay? Yeah. So give it a try at home. Try to see whether you can generate some of the Thai dishes that you've never seen before, right? And these are actually some of the example that I was actually trying to generate. So I was trying to generate pho from Vietnam. Who know pho from Vietnam? Right. So this is what it looks like. It looks very real, convincing enough, right? Like you can see the beef and the noodles. It's even put in the chili flake here, right? So the prompt is not a lot. It's just a yummy bowl of pho in Vietnam, right? You don't even have to like very descriptive of what you want to type. And of course, if you're descriptive enough, it works very well, but even if you're not descriptive, you can actually generate very good stuff as well. Okay, so this is it. And if you want to find out more, right, more of this example, this is the notebook that we have, right? It has Gemini examples, it has Palm example, Cody, code generation, audio generation, and so on. You can actually go reference it and then use the credit that I have to actually run through some of the book, right? Like RAG examples are inside as well. The multimodal examples are inside as well, right? Some of the things that I can actually show you because we have sometimes, right? Let me actually quickly go to this and show you some of this, right? So Gemini is really good for multimodal. And one of the things that I have worked on is actually part of the use cases. And then we have these retail example use cases, right? So Sam actually mentioned some of the example about using the image as part of the prompt, and then you can actually ask questions or ask like descriptions from the image itself. But here I'm using image and then ask which image to choose, right? So is it too small? I'm just zooming a little bit more. Okay, so assuming, right, you want to decorate your room, okay? And this is my room. Okay, it's not my room because I downloaded it from somewhere else, but imagine this is my room, and I want to buy a furniture at IKEA or somewhere, right? Like, what do you usually do? Had anyone buy item from IKEA before? What do you do? Like, you just buy it? Or like you research? Or you see the color match the color or not? Is it nice to sit or not, right? So there's a lot of like time taken to just go around finding things, right? What if I already chose a few chairs that I want to buy for this, right? So I have these 4 chairs, and I want to choose between which chairs should be put inside the room because I want to buy one of them, right? Then what I can do is I can actually put in all the prompts. Say, let me see, the last one, right? So my prompt is describe this room and then recommend a type of chair that would fit into this room. Okay? Then the model would actually respond back and say, this is a living room with modern minimalist style. So, it's a natural color, so natural color type of chair would fit into the room, right? If you are doing like macadamian style, it will actually recommend macadamian type of chairs, right? And then I have like a few commands. Say, consider the following items, which is the 4 chairs that I just showed you. Right? Actually, this is better. I consider the following chairs: chair 1, chair 2, chair 3, and chair 4. Okay? And then this is my room. You are an interior designer. For each chair, explain whether it will be appropriate for the style of the room or not. Okay? Then a response provided for each chair. Say, chair 1 would not be appropriate for the style because the room is modern and minimalistic. The chair is very traditional and rustic. Okay? The same thing for 2 would be appropriate because it has the, it matches with the rooms. The chair 4 would not be appropriate, or chair 3 would not be appropriate, chair 4 is appropriate, and so on. Okay? And you can even ask it to like give you one, just choose one. And then you can actually, so remember we JSON file it when we want to integrate into applications, right? So you can actually create a JSON file and then you can integrate to your website. So you have like a recommendation systems with an explanation of why they recommend item to each of the user. You see how powerful this is? When you try to create recommendation systems, often it's very hard to explain to the user why you're recommending this particular item, right? But with this model, you can actually do that without any like model trainings and any other things, right? You can actually just put in more images, and then using the images, it will understand the image, recommend things that fix for you, okay? You can do that for the menu as well, right? Like, I have this painting, would it fit into my room? Things like that. So, yeah, this is the, one more time, this is the notebook if you want to take a look in case you haven't scanned. And I'm just gonna end it off. So anyone still scanning? Okay. Okay. So, yeah, if you want to stay connected, this is my LinkedIn. You can also hit me on Twitter as well. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you had something, and I'm really hungry for dinner already. Thank you.